are involved. From the building of a tomb to the gathering from a room, you hear the sweet sound of the drums and the songs that go on. Anansi, oh, sorry, Baba. 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 Yes, they came from forest captains, Africans. The total and the struggle hard to pass the cultural, and it fell within the grasp of noble hands. Sugar Adams and Hensky, Puffalo and Prince Lawrence, see them again, Free and Lucian. These names have to live on. Anansi, oh, sorry, Baba. 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 It is a thrill to see the skills of the dancers as they perform when they dance to the beat of chromantic songs. Spark an undivided interest all the way. With new dancers like Jella, LV and Patricia, as soon as they enter in the ring, the whole crowd just start to sing and take a joy. Aye, taule, taule. Aye, and take a joy. Aye, taule, taule. Aye, and take a joy. wanna know. It get you off your feet and dance to the beat. When they play a song to open the ring, the whole of the crowd just start to sing. Ibole ole, boyo, ibole ole, ibole ole, boyo, ibole ole, ibole ole, boyo, ibole ole. Still wondering what is happening. Oh, I just find myself dancing in the ring. I just can't control my emotion. Like the music driving me into convulsion. When the drummer started to play this song, I tell myself that is my nation. I am a Ibolele. I am a Ibo dancer. I am a Ibolele. I am a Ibo dancer. I am a Ibolele. I am a Ibo dancer. Still in question is my reaction. I cannot break away from this illusion. Maybe the spirit is what causing it. Captivate your soul with a beat that sounds so sweet. When the people make the final request, I have to tell you I'm most impressed with me own native land. In my 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 own land, beautiful island. Yes, my own land, the new foundation. In my own land, let's now honor and pay tribute to a big Jamaicans. Yes, my own land, Sugarman, new foundation. Ensgate, in my own land, Prince Lawrence, beautiful island. Winston Flay, yes, my own land, Jack, Django and Luxon. In my own land, Lucien Duncan, C.D. McGilvery, Mayford Hughes, and all those who have contributed to the survival of Big Drum on this beautiful island. Give it up! In my own land, beautiful island. Yes, my own land, the new foundation. This is what we call our way. I remember when I was young, love and music was something I yearned. Needless me to say, that was the music of the day. I used to play a nice melody in G, but that was the sweetest thing for me. And when the song of the banjo hit the air, that was all the people want to hear. Listen to the sound of the banjo. An emulation of Deepwood Moses, played by Carl. Move your feet, move your waist. Sweet, sweet music in the place. You can't stand up like a yo-yo. You got to let your body go. Take a grind, take a wine. Don't waste this precious time. What will happen tomorrow? None of us don't really know.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the rest. Yeah, no, sure, yeah, right, yeah. Good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, wherever you are locally, regionally, and internationally. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour.
I remember those glory years. Love when music was met with great cheers. No one can deny that the standard was very high. And when you hear Christmas,
Yeah, still not 100%, but fighting it tonight, yeah.
time comes around. Look out for your name in the song. With all them we
Folks, remember on the you have the option to donate towards the program. And I know one person out there in Carriacou did make a donation. We'd like to congratulate you and thank you towards that. Yes, folks, we looking for the rest of you. Yes, the $5 here, $5 there. Like nobody want program Friday. Well, if I don't want the program Friday, I'll abide by what you all decide, yeah?
Men singing, party time, all of we dancing. Yeah, quarter.
Let me say a special good night to all of you joining us via the YouTube.
Move your feet, move your way.
The Facebook is down tonight. That's why it took so long to come on, actually. Was fighting, trying to get the Facebook to come on, but I don't know. Facebook itself seems to be having a problem.
Sweet, sweet music in the place. You can't stand up like
So we're on We Noise Radio tonight and on YouTube, and of course on our own page.
you got to let your body go. Take a grind, take a wine. Don't waste this precious time. What will happen tomorrow? None of us don't really know. You hear tell a coin, Hunky High, Cecil James, Matthew James, that is Baker, and our song now. There must be something hidden in the vibes that have me hypnotized. I went and I did my research. I want to caution my approach. Names like Moses, Feeling Charles, Champion, so much to mention.
Yeah, just making sure everything is going all well and okay.
These men
As I said, usually because of where I am now, I usually have to take apart the entire system when I'm done doing the program and put it back together for the program when the program starts. So
kept the culture and pass it on to us with pleasure.
that's why sometimes they hear, oh, but your audio off, you just see the I have to continually be testing it before I get on air.
You hear soldier, you hear Toba, Maracas.
So those of you who join us on Facebook, just let them know. By now they should know when you don't see us on Facebook, it is because we are over on the YouTube. So check us on YouTube, yeah?
There must be something catchy in the song that have me
Lona Lolo, good night to you, my dear.
singing along.
Moko Ben, yeah, my good friend out there in Springs, eh?
I feel like I'm out of
And Moko Joseph, good night to you. No, Moko Ben and Moko Joseph is two different people, eh? Right here, just making sure. I usually shout out the two at the same time, right?
the music hitting up me soul. So rhythmic, so dynamic,
John Mark, good night to you.
simple strings.
And I see Clive Raymond, McLean Mitchell, Christine Alexander, Joan Henry, Casimir Thomas. I see Jerome Kenneth Lewis, Gertrude Abraham. Good night to you, my dear. Jenny Samuel, Teresa Joseph, Christine Alexander. I see Clive Raymond. Yeah, Dominic Antoine Dolores Redhead Love is in the house tonight. I see Amanda Jeremiah, Oswald Belfont, Cecil Bernard, Leroy Dominic, Chris London, yeah, Maji.
That's so pulsating. Love when music teaser. You can ask for anything sweeter. You hear
Between Moko Joseph and Chris London, yeah, that's the two people that make sure the likes go on up, yeah.
Banjo.
Folks, remember, the more you like the program, so the more people that like the program, when people sign into YouTube anywhere in Grenada, the program would be recommended to them. And especially if they see a connection between you and the people, it will recommend Talking Points to them. So in case they've never watched Talking Points or they've never heard of it, which is highly unlikely in the state of Grenada right now, we know that, eh? But anyhow, even if you're in the US, wherever you are, the Facebook and YouTube will recommend it to people because they see you sharing it, they see you like it, they realize, hey, this is something good to listen to, this is something good to view, and they will recommend it, yeah?
To keep you in
So that's the importance of hitting the like button. That's the importance of sharing, yeah?
move your feet, move your waist, your body, sweet music in the place. You can't stand up like
Dalton, Sean Fitzroy, Philip, I'm not sure I told you all good night. Claude Abraham,
a
Cynthia Bartholomew, Anne-Marie Grant, yeah? Olive McKeown, Deborah Laborde, Cindy Thomas, Bernadette Joseph, David, Carib Spice Fitness, Maud Martlin, Andrea Burke, Alcy Peters, John Stafford, Deborah Flanders, Rosalind Jones, Patsy Frank, Cicely Celestine, Dennis Sandy, Michelle Alexander, Shoma Jeremiah, Alban. Good night to you, bro. Adrian Watts and Mrs. Watts, good night. Sandra Joseph, good night to you as well. And I see Lisha Abraham, Earl Bonaparte, Ruth Chitterman. Good night to each and every one of you.
in the you got to let your body go. Take a grind, take a wine, good, good, don't waste this precious
I think I had to take up a drum and drum a big drum for a whole 45 minutes to an hour. Just play a drum and probably that could get me back here. Yeah.
What will happen tomorrow?
Surprise how that does help, you know.
Now when none of us don't really know.
Yes, indeed, folks, we've got a lot to go over tonight. Just making sure enough of you get in before we start the discussion. I haven't even opened the phone line because I'm afraid somebody call and throw off what I'm going and talk about. I'll go open the phone lines when I'm ready. So I'll open the phone lines in a little while. Yes, indeed. Yeah, nah, that tune too nice to play once. But anyhow, yes, indeed, folks. So, during the day today, I've been seeing various things coming out. All kind of Papa yo, according to one of my nieces, Papa yo. The kind of things that I've been seeing coming out. And so, for instance, I saw this one today. And desperate attempt as usual by the individuals involved. And let me just get to this one. It is the National Democratic Congress, of course. Yeah, and they're saying that there's no corruption. Basically, they're trying to say there's no corruption. Rebuilding after burial issues linked to poor financial practices by contractors. So the people who hired the contractors that have the poor practices, they're not saying that they're responsible for hiring the wrong people. The same people who hire them and supposed to monitor them and make sure that the job that they got paid for is done, the same people did not do their job, and now they're trying to blame the contractors themselves. So now they're trying to spin the story because for those of you that may know and those of you that may not know, today in the Jamaican newspapers, the talk was about corruption in the burial relief program in Grenada. In the Trinidadian newspapers, the Bajan newspapers, the Guyanese newspapers, and others, the story was about corruption. The Prime Minister has confirmed corruption in the burial relief program. Now they're trying to back on their words here. If you see them back, why? They're backing back like crab. Yeah, trying to back on the statements that they made. Now again, it is not us. We were not the ones that made those statements about corruption taking place in the burial support program and other programs. We were not the ones that did that. Yeah? That was the ministers themselves. When a minister is telling you that houses have been built and the houses basically are a disaster in themselves, let's hear that minister. Okay, let me just put a hold here because I realize what's happening there. Yeah, I hear myself talking there. That means the audio channel is still open here. Right, kill the audio channel. Nice. Right, so again, let's hear that minister speaking about the situation with the houses that were built under the program. Up to this date, folks, we have not heard from the Honorable Minister or anyone else, and she said that on the first day, that is 1 month and a day ago, she said that on the first day of June. As of now, we have not heard from that minister or any other what has been done to sort that issue out. If you build a house for the government, on behalf of the government of Grenada, and it is substandard, it is not done properly. You all were just having a problem hearing the audio. You all didn't hear. Let me just make sure if it's one person or if it is several. Oh, the audio was very low. Okay, let me fix that and let me bring it back again. Nice. You see, it's good to be checking my thing every now and again there. Yeah, it's a game out to be played here in between we. So let me make sure Sister Glow audio is up, and let me bring Sister Glow back there. All right, let me see if the issue with before I, oh, that's why. The audio is down here. Okay. Right. So let's go. Let's hear Sister Glow again. Right, so when they build, it's a next disaster. Let's play it again. Go ahead and we'll play the rest of it. Yes, someone is telling me they're still not hearing properly. Let me see if I can adjust somewhere here. I'm not sure what is taking place. I am absolutely not sure why folks are not hearing that audio. Are you all hearing me clearly though? Let me just make sure. Are you all hearing me? She's very low, right? No audio, no audio, no audio. Right. Let's see what is happening here. Let me see if we get hacked. I doubt it. Let's see if we get hacked. Let's see what's happening here. Let me see if this is the issue. Let me see if I pull it through here. I am absolutely not sure what is taking place here. My volume is okay on that end. Let me bring my volume here right up and see if that makes a difference. Oh, folks, I see what the issue is. I got it. All right, yes, you all should not have a problem now in hearing Sister Glow. I think I solved that issue, yeah?
Response. Yeah. We were looking for contractors to do small houses, and we were not getting contractors. Yeah, exactly. So then we hire people, they see they could build, and when you see what they build, it's a disaster, next disaster. You know, so we really need contractors to do small houses, and we were not getting contractors. Yeah, exactly. So then we hire people, they say they could build, and when you see what they build, it's a disaster, next disaster. You know, so we really need to get our people, especially our young men, upgraded with skills. Yes. Yeah. Because some of them, they've been around construction.
So in other words, what she's basically saying there is that the people that they've hired are not contractors. They just basically pulled some guys off the street, called them contractors, and gave them the job to do the construction. Because these are just guys that were wrong. So some of them, they say they're contractors. You're telling me you say you're a contractor, and the government of Grenada, the Ministry of Housing, and the Ministry of Implementation and Mobilization and Transformation, that they just put money in these people's hand and say, build a house? Okay, all right.
Contractors to do small houses, and we were not getting contractors. Yeah, exactly. So then we hire people, they say they could build, and when you see what they build, it's a disaster, next disaster. You know, so we really need to get our people, especially our young men, upgraded with skills. Yes. Yeah. Because some of them, they've been around construction as a helper, but
folks, in this instance, what she's talking about is that the government, without verifying that people can do a job, just like they've done with Mount Sinai, where they're paying how much $1 million, and the Prime Minister tells you there's a question for Mount Sinai, he and his cabinet sat down, decide that they're going to bring Mount Sinai into the Grenadian system. They organized to pay Mount Sinai how much $1 million over a number of years to do a job that they didn't check if Mount Sinai is able to do in Grenada in the first place because of US sanctions that bars certain activities by U.S. businesses, which Mount Sinai is a U.S. business, bars U.S. businesses from operating at any level in cooperation with the Cuban government and with workers on behalf of the Cuban state. And we showed you the legislation in relation to that. So in the same way that has taken place is the same way you see this one taking place now, that she had to say, that look, they build houses and the houses for themselves are a disaster, but it gets even worse.
I've done some interviews on how many houses that we have actually put out in the last year since burial.
Yeah.
And I must say that things have gone apace. A number of persons would have gotten a new house. In some cases, their house repairs and so on. There are one or two houses that were started and they are yet to be completed. Some of them have issues, I would tell you, because I've heard one or two cases yesterday when I was in the field that the contractor started the house and he disappeared.
Why is that happening, sir?
I don't really know, but I mean, I believe that...
So tell me, if it is not corruption, if you hire groups of people to do a job, they collect the money and disappear, well, in which other word they have benefited? They get the money. There is no other word for it. And you can't just blame the contractors for that. The government of Grenada has to know, number one, who they're hiring. They have to be sure on the capability of the individuals to do the job. Before they pay the individuals, they have to make sure that the job is done. They went ahead, paid these individuals, and now trying to blame the individuals themselves. Yes, the people who doing it, they have a part to play in it. Yes, they should know better. But the government is not supposed to allow it to happen in the first instance, because they are supposed to be checking on these people all the time to make sure the houses are being built to standard. They have not been doing that. Or the Minister of Housing would not be saying that some of the houses were a disaster. Let's hear Mr. Cornwall.
The contractor started the house and he disappeared.
Why is that happening, sir?
I don't really know, but I mean, I believe that the persons who issuing the contracts to those contractors need to basically make sure that they vet these people properly.
Again, he's saying exactly what I'm saying now, that the persons who issuing the contracts, is your government issuing the contracts? Is Andy Williams and MIT that issuing the contracts to these people to build the houses? It is not the New National Party doing it. It's not some other company out there that doing it on behalf of the government of Grenada. It's a government ministry that is providing the contracts to these people to go and build the houses. And from what we hear, there is widespread corruption outside of what he's talking about taking place there, where people are receiving kickbacks, including government ministers are receiving kickbacks from this thing, where they are told there's a contract there for you, go and collect that money and drop off so much here and drop off so much there. And even without that, it is corrupt for the individuals to collect the money from the state of Grenada. Let me repeat, from the state of Grenada. Let me repeat it again. From the state of Grenada to do construction and then either start it and abandon it or not do it at all.
Which, I mean, I don't even want to talk about it here right now. Yeah. Where a guy got money and so on, he put it in an account and so on, and every now and again he goes and takes $200 from it and so on. And it doesn't appear on the person's side to be able to continue the project. So yes, we have one or two houses.
So we have a management problem then to start.
Yes.
And who is managing? He agrees, yes. We have a management problem? Yes.
One or two houses.
So we have a management problem then to start.
Yes.
Who is managing? The Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation, and Transformation. They are not doing their job. Yeah? They are not doing their job, and they are allowing and festering and fostering that corruption that's taking place there. It is corruption. Call it by the right name.
But I want to put out a warning out to the persons who have collected government monies and did not do what they should do.
The persons who collected what? Let me just hear the minister again. Minister, the people who collect what?
But I want to put out a warning out to the persons who have collected government monies and did not do what they should do.
Also, they've collected government monies and not do what they're supposed to do. Don't take my word for it. Let me hear the minister one more time. We're going over piece by piece.
Management problem, they to push that.
Yes, there might be that case there. But I want to put out a warning out to the persons who have collected government monies and did not do what they should do with it and so on, or use it for other purposes and so on.
Oh, so they collected money to build house and use it for other purposes. So the minister is confirming, one, that the people collected government money, and two, that they used it for other purposes, that they did not do what they were supposed to do. So one, they collected government money. Again, this is not me saying it. This is the minister. Let me see if I could find the exact date and thing. Well, I'll get the date that he said it on the To The Point program, but it was just about 2 weeks ago, or last week, in fact. Was it last week? May have been last week, Tuesday, I think, he said this. So the minister is confirming, one, that people collect money from the government of Grenada and did not do with that money what they're supposed to do. And secondly, he's confirming that corruption took place there, because that is an act of, that is a corrupt act. It took place under you, deal with it.
Those things, I would have this one. But I want to put out a warning out to the persons who have collected government monies and did not do what they should do with it and so on, or use it for other purposes and so on. We would have the audit department audit those things. I would have the necessary step taken to make sure that you can account, or you account for the monies that you were given. I know there are problems where, for example, somebody might tell you, well, this is the land and so on, and when I say we, the ministry took it as though that's a gospel, and they went and started building that house, and then realized that there was somebody coming and challenge you building on my land.
Again, he being the Ministry of Finance, they have records of every landowner in Grenada. They know who owns what land, because you've got to pay taxes on the land. So they have records of every single inch of land in Grenada and who owns in his ministry. The same person speaking there. Also in the Ministry of Lands. So they have records in 2 places at least, outside of the registry and all them places, of every inch of land in Grenada and who is the owner. There is no excuse for the government to make that mistake. A private contractor doing a thing on their own and somebody come and tell them, build it for me, that I may place thing, that might be another case if that contractor ain't sensible. But for it to be happening to the government means that something definitely wrong with the system. Yeah? It means that something is definitely wrong with the system. So when people come now and trying to give the impression that there's no corruption, and I listened to Mr. Cornwall just about an hour ago. I was listening to Mr. Cornwall, you know, if you like, watch now, I was listening to him just about an hour ago. This is the same person now.
To put people back in the driver's seat, but there's a lot more to be done. I am saying all of that to say that we have had challenges, especially with our small contractors, who sometimes do not understand the difference between a fixed contract as well as a daily paid contract. And so some of them would have run into difficulties. And so you hear today on the street that there is corruption and there is this and that going on there. I want to assure you that there is absolutely no corruption where these are concerned. We have to...
Oh, let me just make sure you say what you're saying. There's absolutely no corruption?
There is corruption and there is this and that going on there. I want to assure you that there is absolutely no corruption where these are concerned. We have to understand that sometimes we have to build our people to the level where they can understand what they are involved in.
Oh, to the level. So blame the contractors. You all hire them. You all supposed to monitor them. You didn't monitor them. You all not supposed to pay them up front. According to the 2015, I kept saying 17 last night, 2015 Public Finance Management Act Section 33, SRO number 33, Section 33B, you all are not supposed to pay the people before they complete the job. You all give them the full amount of money before they complete the job. They ain't do the job, and you're going to tell me there is no corruption? Mr. Come out, watch. Let me move that man from in front of me. No, let me hear him one more time before I move him there.
Friends between a fixed contract as well as a daily paid contract. And so some of them would have run into difficulties. And so you hear today on the street that there is corruption and there is this and that going on there. I want to assure you that there is absolutely no corruption where these are concerned.
So if there is no corruption, why are you going and audit? Is he not going to audit to try and see if there's corruption in it? Yeah? And let me just pull something else here. There's something else that I saw today. It's laughable, really. Yeah, let me see. Oh, come on. Come on, chaps. Yeah, you've got to have it somewhere there. Yeah, it's somewhere there. Oh, here it is. Let me just pull this here, close this here, close this here. No, I ain't closing you. No, you stay open. All right, and open this here. Because this is a very interesting statement. Earlier today, this was posted by Mr. Corruption himself, the minister in charge of MIT, Mobilization, Implementation, and Transformation, speaking to his supporters via Facebook, telling them to be clear, stay focused. A few local contractors who were advanced funds by financial institutions have failed to complete projects on time. That is the simple truth. No, that is a big lie, not the simple truth. You, Andy Williams, that is a lie. Because we just heard from the minister that those who collected money from who? Not financial institutions, those that collected money from government. Let me repeat, not those who collected money from financial institutions, those who collected monies from government. In case you did not hear the minister, someone can refer you to this program to educate you, although we know you know, but you're just bad mind. That is not no simple truth. That is a big lie. They were advanced funds by the government of Grenada. How can you audit people? Let me ask a simple question here. How can you audit people who you didn't give money to? If the bank or the credit union give me money towards building a home or building something, a business or so, they can come in at a point in time and do an audit to see how I'm spending the money and so on, how I'm utilizing the money. If they've given me a loan in relation to that, they can do an audit. Yeah? Even if you have a vehicle from a credit union or the bank or so, they can ask you to do a valuation at a point in time to make sure that you're upkeeping the vehicle to a particular standard and all of that. They can do that. It's in the agreement. You must read the agreement. But if they give you no money and you just buy a car out of cash, you had cash, and you take your cash and buy a vehicle, do you think the credit union or the bank could tell you they're coming to find out the state of the vehicle because they're auditing? They didn't give you no money towards it. We heard the Minister of Finance say that audit department will be auditing these individuals. It means that the money did not come from some financial institution. Andy Williams, you damn well lie. Who you think stupid in this place? So because you say it, you expect people to believe it? Who's stupid and jumping up behind you and don't understand the English language or have no sense will simply believe anything you put out there? That is not the simple truth. I challenge you. It is a big lie. You lie. There is no spin about corruption. Down to the Prime Minister admitted that there is corruption. And you should be the last person coming out to talk about corruption. If I was you, I would not want the word corruption anyway with my name. I wouldn't be the one to be putting the word corruption in anything that I put out if I was you. Telling you straight as it is. Committed to what? Transparency, accountability. If you're committed to transparency, accountability, and delivering for the people, go to your Prime Minister and tell him to investigate you. When they had all kind of thing about Dr. Mitchell talking about briefcase, Dr. Mitchell simply say, okay, you want to have a commission of inquiry? No problem. They do the commission of inquiry. He made all documentation, everything available to them. Various people came in and gave their evidence. I was there at the start of the inquiry. The first day of the inquiry, I was there. He was the Prime Minister of the country. Could I do like this one and say, well, no, me ain't bothering to let them investigate me, all kind of thing. But he know he had nothing to hide. So he said, well, investigate if all you want to investigate. They got an impartial, non-aligned individual to come into Grenada and do that commission of inquiry. Why are you afraid commission of inquiry so if all you have nothing to fear? Stay focused. Yes, we stay in focus on the corruption that's taking place. Because we're hearing stories. We're hearing stories, Mr. Andy Williams, of ministers that telling people go and collect that check. Ministers in the government. We are hearing stories of ministers telling people go and collect that check and drop off how much in my office for me. Or leave an envelope here or there for me. We're hearing that. If it is not true, and you all are afraid that you're just going to have the... Why be afraid? There should be no fear of having a commission of inquiry into any of these accusations, whether it be the National Lottery Authority, whether it be the Burial Relief Program, whether it be the Woburn Road project and the accusations that are being made there of $115,000. If you all are so sure that there's nothing to fear there, why not allow... Number one, where's the Integrity Commission? Has the Integrity Commission been put in place so they can do an investigation? Secondly, why not allow a commission of inquiry? But you all afraid because you all know what you all have been doing. So you all afraid. And trying to tell people, don't think about it. If all you think, this going on be 8-day memory, I'll sing it every week until election day. And there's nothing you all can do to stop it. I'll sing it every single day until election day. Corruption taking place. If all you really think this one going to be 8 days and nobody ain't going to be talking about it again, joke all you're making. I talk about all kind of thing back, coming back and talk about this again. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense by these individuals. Trying to give the impression that people don't know what they're talking about and people just saying things. And that kind of nonsense. And even the Prime Minister, and I'm trying to find that one now, even the Prime Minister come out and admit that, hey, this is what was taking place. And I'm looking for it now. It's somewhere here. And I'll definitely find it. You know what? Let me... holding off on the calls still. Yeah, holding off on the calls still. Don't worry, I'll come to the calls in a little while. I'm just trying to find the one where the Prime Minister was speaking just yesterday, I believe it was. And he was questioned by a caller on air in relation to the accusations that are out there. Yeah, I think I have it here now. Yeah, he was questioned about the accusations that are out there in relation to the corruption that is taking place in these things. So let me hear the words of the Prime Minister. Don't take my words for it.
Afternoon to everyone, including the Prime Minister. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Right. Mr. Prime Minister, there are some allegations are going around. And we need to clear you need to clear the air with some of the corruption we are hearing in offices with some of your, first of all, with the Burial Relief Fund, we're hearing that people are getting contracts, monies are putting in their accounts, and people, they are taking all the money in their account and spend it and not finishing the work. Is that true, sir? Then second of all, we are hearing the allegation with former Senator Lacquette with the NLA corruption bill. I want you to explain some of that for us. If that is true with the NLA manager and his girlfriend. So we are asking if these things are true with the NLA deal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Prime Minister. Have a very pleasant evening.
Thank you so much, caller. Well, thank you, caller. I think my response on the National Lotteries Authority is no. And I think if anyone has evidence or proof to the contrary, then obviously this is something that they could have brought forth a long time ago. I want to make the point. The National Lotteries Authority, like many other statutory bodies, but perhaps lottery more than anything else, is outside of the central treasury, perhaps the next treasury of the state of Grenada, where everybody, from private promoters to Carnival Queen contestants, to sporting clubs, to community clubs, to people who are sick, are constantly asking for assistance in one way, shape, or the other. But the lottery business is a lottery business, and so the lottery itself also has to manage its reserves. And sometimes when people are told no, or are told that the lottery is unable to fund what they're requesting, they make all kinds of allegations against the board and the management and the staff of lottery, none of which is frankly fair, nor considerate. We also have to appreciate that almost all statutory bodies in Grenada, the people who serve on these boards, the directors, are doing so virtually free. The stipend that is given to them, the $300 or the $500 per meeting or per month, in many instances is inconsequential and cannot compensate them for the significant time and effort that they put into serving on behalf of the citizens of the country. So when people malign their names and say all kinds of things, that's one of the reasons why oftentimes talented people choose not to get involved in public service.
Folks, just remember the person speaking there is the same one that in November of 2022 came to you, the Grenadian people, and accused the new National Party cabinet, inclusive of number 10, the same Delma that grinning, sit down with them all over the place right now, including her, of being involved in a corrupt act where they received money from some Polish man and so on, and he had cabinet conclusion to that. And up to this day, the second day of July in 2025, the same person that sit down there trying to play holier than thou has not presented a shred of evidence to prove what he is saying. None. To prove that there was some arrangement that this man was supposed to get a diplomatic posting if he paid this amount of money and all that sort of thing. None. Not a shred of evidence has been provided to prove that. And if they had evidence, by now knowing them, they'd have done pick up who they had to pick up already. So when he comes to us and he makes that kind of statement about, oh, you're affecting people and people don't want to come in, he is just as guilty. When they said what they said about the faith program and start dragging in people who was working in the faith program, have CID and FIU dragging in people who was working in the faith program to ask them all sorts of questions. When they have FIU investigating people, when he did what he did to Gregory Bowen, where Gregory Bowen helped them find the documents and these people sit down there knowing that Mr. Bowen could get a little consultancy outside of Grenada or even inside Grenada, but they spoil his name. They spoil his name, knowing full well what they were saying is not true. Not clarifying up to this day, not clarifying that they have the documents, and the error was not on Mr. Bowen's part. He never take no documents and go. He didn't have to go and bring in no documents because he never took it. But he directed them to where it was in the same filing cabinet that was passing every day. Let's continue.
All kinds of foolish people who make all kinds of allegations.
The foolish people who make allegations. I think you're watching in a mirror when you were saying that.
With no proof. And if they had the proof, then present the proof.
And we're still waiting for you to present the proof. Polish man, faith program, all these things and them. Don't feel like you're coming and wait a month before election to come and talk about these things, you know. Don't feel like coming and fool anybody because Grenadians know very well what all you have up all your craw. That a month or two before you announce the election is when all you come in to talk about those things again and do like all you want to do action. But we're waiting on all you. Come.
And then on the second issue with Hurricane Beryl, I am sure that with any government program from time to time you may have mistakes or you may have issues that may need addressing. But as far as I'm aware, there is no widespread corruption. There is no system.
Oh, there's no widespread corruption. That is not saying there's no corruption. There's no what?
Mistakes or you may have issues that may need addressing. But as far as I'm aware, there is no widespread corruption.
So there's small spread corruption. Okay, so it has small spread, not widespread. All right, nice, cool. The man did not say there's no corruption. I don't know where the MNDC getting that from. The man admit there's corruption. Deal with it. But because all your stuff in all your pocket through the corruption is why all you don't want to agree to it's a corruption. Grenadians, all you sit down there and all you not calling out these people and think the man admitting that there is corruption. How else do you construe his words? That those words cannot be misconstrued. If I say it have a lot of bakes, that is one thing. If I say it do have plenty bakes, you call and you're looking for bakes and I say it do have plenty bakes. I didn't tell you it don't have bakes. I mean come quick. I have some remaining and you will get it. What do this guy?
mistakes or you may have issues that may need addressing. But as far as I'm aware, there is no widespread corruption. There is no systematic corruption in any of these instances. There are challenges, and I've said this repeatedly, with many have mistakes or you may have issues that may need addressing. But as far as I'm aware, there is no widespread corruption. There is no systematic corruption.
Oh, so there's no widespread and there's no systematic corruption. So, in other words, there is corruption taking place, but it is not systematic as far as he's aware. So he's speaking not as the Prime Minister there, but as a good friend of mine just tell me there. He's not speaking as the Prime Minister, he's speaking as a defense lawyer. That is not Deacon Mitchell, Prime Minister there. That is Deacon Mitchell, lawyer, that's speaking there right now. As far as I'm aware, it's a wonderful thing to use when you're trying to escape answering something directly. In the field of law, it's legalese, as they say. Yeah, legalese, that's what they call it.
But as far as I'm aware, there is no widespread corruption. There is no systematic corruption.
And is that the only time you say no widespread corruption? Let me hear.
That they put into serving on behalf of the citizens of the country. So when people malign their names and say all kinds of things, that's one of the reasons why oftentimes talented people choose not to get involved in public service, because you have all kinds of foolish people who make all kinds of allegations with no proof.
Yeah, we've been through that part. Hurry up, hurry up.
They have the proof, then present the proof. So I think that is what I would say. And then on the second issue with Hurricane Beryl, I am sure that with any government program, from time to time, you may have mistakes or you may have issues that may need addressing. But as far as I'm aware, there is no widespread corruption.
Okay, so there's one. There's no widespread corruption. So as far as I'm aware, so he's saying that it could have widespread corruption, but I'm not aware. So he's properly aware of the small-scale corruption. He's aware of it may not be 500, but it might be 50. So he's saying, again, as far as he is aware, that is the first instance of the as far as he is aware.
I'm aware there is no widespread corruption. There is no systematic corruption in any of these instances. There are challenges, and I've said this repeatedly, with many of the contractors, because in many instances, their ability to manage the money, the ability to have the kind of financial literacy that is required is sometimes not there. Now, you could say you're not dealing with them, in which cases the homes are not going to be rebuilt because we simply don't have the capacity. And I've given these examples when we were having the financial literacy classes.
Yeah, we're really interested in the rest of that. Yeah, but the bottom line is the man has admitted that there is corruption. Okay. During the time of COVID-19, all are we old enough to remember COVID-19, right? Even children that born in 2020, right now, old enough to understand what we're saying. They should be 4 or 5 years old. They could understand what we're saying as well. In 2020, you said, okay, there's no widespread COVID-19. So you had the first case in March of 2020, and after that you had 1 or 2 cases here or there, but you had no widespread COVID-19. It didn't mean that there was no cases of COVID-19 in Grenada. There were cases here and there, but there was no widespread cases of COVID-19 in Grenada. As opposed to 2021, in the later part of 2021, September, October going down there, where you had widespread cases of it. It was all over the place. That is when you had how much people die in a day and how much people die a month and all kind of thing. So then it was widespread. But even when it was not widespread, it had cases, and the cases were of concern to each and every one of us. Because we know we ain't going in that area because we hear it are COVID there. I remember when some of the first few COVID cases came out in 2020, seeing on the news that there were busmen that refused to go in certain area. They hear it have a COVID case up there. Not a bus. People had to drop and walk. Not a bus. And the buses were done, you understand? And they would not go up into those areas that they hear it have a COVID case. It didn't mean, again, that there was no COVID. It meant that it was not widespread. So, Mr. Prime Minister, you admitted that there is corruption. There's no if, what, or but about that. Both you and your Minister of Finance. Your Minister of Finance is a technocrat. He go talk how we talk. But we understand that he's saying that there's corruption because the activities, the actions that he spoke about, what is taking place, that is corrupt. The people were paid to do a job and they didn't do it and they take the money. So the money didn't finish. Because he spoke of one individual having the money on the bank account and taking out of it to go and probably lime or drink rum or whatever they're doing every now and again. They're taking out like 200 now and again. So again, it was not a case that that person didn't have the money. They had the money, but they were utilizing it to do something else. So don't come and try to bamboozle us with this kind of nonsense now. I don't know what the NDC sending out press release about there's no corruption and all kind of. Who are they trying to fool with them nonsense? Yeah? Who are they trying to fool with that? Let me open my phone lines. Yeah, it's about time to open the phone lines now. Yeah, I didn't want to open the phone lines and mess it up there. No? Yeah, nice. Yeah. Good. So phone lines are open and you can call 1473-440-7377. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside. And folks, remember, it is happening this Saturday at the Sates bus terminus. That is going to be the spicy Grenadian breakfast, and this is being put on by the St. Patrick West constituency branch of the New National Party. They're going to be having Tanya log, cocoa tea, bush tea, bakes and saltfish, fry fish, cuckoo, bakes and smoke herring, provision, all of that coming down. Nice thing. At the Sates bus terminal, that is taking place this Saturday starting at 6 a.m. And the New National Party this Friday, they are having the after-work lime that's taking place at NNP headquarters in Tempe. And it starts from 4 p.m. You can go on out there, meet the executive members of the New National Party, show your support for the party. Yeah, show your support for the party. You can go on out and yeah, they have, the food and drinks is not free, it's on sale because it's a fundraiser. All right, so that is happening this Friday, the 4th of July. Are they doing fireworks? NNP, are they doing fireworks? I think that is American independence. You could do some fireworks for Uncle Trump. So that is taking place this Friday. Remember our little friend Kalani? Yeah, she still has to go to the U.S. So, our good friend Kalani. And then, folks, remember this one.
For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463. Or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. WeNoise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. WeNoise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463. Or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, check out WeNoise TV for that one there. Yes, indeed. And folks, let me just circle back to something. Okay, remember the Prime Minister said, anybody that has evidence of things presented. Jonathan Lacrette, then a senator who had the responsibility for youth and sport and directly was the minister, the line minister for the National Lottery Authority, said to this nation that he went into the accounts department of the National Lotteries Authority. He was provided with information that prove corruption inside there. In other words, things were happening inside there that were not supposed to happen, to the point where people in that department say, Minister, are not going to jail for this, because they were being asked to do things that they knew were illegal. I know how you're defending yourself in court for that. You know it's illegal and you're doing it. So they try to save themselves. The information was given to then Senator Jonathan Lacrette. Then Senator Jonathan Lacrette went home, reviewed the information, and brought it to the attention of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. The same Prime Minister that's saying, if you have information in relation to corruption, bring it. It's the same Prime Minister that evidence of the corruption in the National Lottery Authority was presented to. But in his mind, maybe his definition of corruption is superficial. I don't know. I don't want to make a guess as to what his definition. But his definition and the law definition of corruption seem to be two different things. Because he was presented with the evidence and he took absolutely no action regarding it. None. Zero action regarding the corruption that has been happening. And as far as we know, now under number 10 continues to happen in the National Lottery Authority because it's the same people doing the same things in the same way. So as far as we know, the corruption can be happening right now in the National Lottery Authority. Ron never do anything about it because that's Tweedledum. He was there and like he ain't there. He ain't know what's going on around him. Yeah? Then you had Jonathan Lacrette came in, saw it, exposed it, lose his job seemingly over it, and then you have Madame Delman now gone in there, and who is supposed to be as Christian as Brother Lacrette, and is presiding over the same individuals, doing the same things in the same place. Are you good in this place, we? Folks, the phone lines are open 1473-440-7377. Somebody tell me why it's not they say it's not widespread as well. Corruption is not widespread. It's small spread, it's glow spread, and it's garlic spread. Yeah, man. Yeah. And, you know, folks, there's another issue I want to raise. I was giving you all the opportunity to call on this one first. All right, yes. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Hey, how you do?
Not too bad. How was your day today?
A rough one, but I make it.
But I realized you were so much into it because you was getting
no, but
the information you get. You're looking smart too.
No,
you look good. I watching on the TV like you eat for one day, but you keep you going.
No, but
like a 1,000 years.
Let me explain something to you. I had a serious case of food poisoning. The first time I ate since Monday was about 3 hours ago.
Okay.
So all when I was doing the program last night, I was grinding because I had a serious case of food poisoning. But go right ahead. I'm good now, man. You go right ahead.
Mr. Sheldon Scott, I want to say something. I born in the night, but I don't born last night. I born long time ago. These people, I think they could just fool people and lie for people and make people feel well, You know? Wait, I mean, you asked the question a while ago, and a man just come and ask me the same question here. If you don't have corruption, and Mr. Cornwall having a next meeting, you don't have corruption, why then you're having an audit? Why are you auditing it for people to bring back money and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
The Mr. just come asking the same question here. And then I heard you talking about it. Eh?
There's no need.
You see, so these men.
You could audit to bring things in line and to try and be sure and everything. I'm giving them an excuse. You could do that. But in this instance,
yes,
the audit was said because there was wrong things taking place.
It's
we're going to audit because we have to account for the people's money. Not a riser credit union or whatever credit union or GDB or whoever money. We have to account for the people's money from the consolidated fund, the taxpayers' money that's there. They have to account for it, so they're bringing it in line. That's why they're doing their audit.
And not only that, we are getting information on the ground, valid information, where the men signing, they're signing checks, and they have to bring back money, that kind of thing. I see that today. I see it and I receive today. Children, what is going on in this place? And the Prime Minister is so lying. That man, Mr. Piero lying. This man went in a lab to make lie. He lying too much. And it's time for you to stop that and let Grenada know the truth. Then you come back and you say, no, not widespread fraud, corruption. So that means you're indicating that there is corruption. So speak out. Tell us what. Tell us. Let us know.
In 2020, right? We heard that there was a case of COVID somewhere in March of 2020. We heard there was a case. It wasn't widespread, but all man Jack get frightened.
It's obviously
People who coming out the house, who staying inside, who keeping their distance, who wearing their mask, who sanitizing everything. It's that people wouldn't let the children come inside the house with the same clothes they had on outside. And that was it wasn't widespread, but it was there, so it was reason for concern. In the same instance, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, or it's 50 out of 500, it is cause for concern.
That's the point. So whether I did reach in Grenville, I did reach in Tong, I did reach in Sotel, but you reach in Guava and you reach in Victoria, is fraud, it's corruption. It's corruption, I mean, it's corruption. So deal with it. Let Grenada know what is going on. And then it show in Andy under the boss. They call MIT too. Showing Andy under the boss. But as you say, these people and all the motive and the motive is money. Just to take all the money and do what they want to do. Imagine that you take money and you give a man to build a place. Yeah? The man don't build the place. Right? And oh Jesus. How much you on this place? The man don't build the place. But yet for all you saying them is what Mr. Conrad said. Mr. Conrad said something about is not is maybe I cannot delay, I cannot something so use the word. You know, are they maybe they ready yet to do and some things so, but not corruption. It is a corruption. It is corruption.
See, in this instance,
making it government to the people.
Now there are two things we're dealing with here. Hold on, caller, there are two things we're dealing with here. There's the issue of corruption by the individuals who are supposed to be monitored by the government. So there's also the issue of, how do you put it again? Oh boy. Irresponsibility and incompetence on behalf of the government itself. Because they are legally, number one, they're not supposed to give the people all the money up front anyway. They went ahead and they did that. And then they did not monitor. So you're telling me you gave money to somebody in November and December of last year to build a house. The house has not been built, and this is July of 2025. And you're now telling us that you're going to audit and check. No, the ministry that provided those funds to the individual that they should not have provided was supposed to be checking every single week to make sure that the project is. So you're telling me there's no standard where these things are being built? That the
but that's
Ministry of
correct.
Works,
There's no standard.
The Ministry of Works are not sending in their technical people to make sure, hey, you're doing this can't be done that way, it has to be done the other way. So they're just giving people money and say, go and build a house there, and how you build it. No wonder the minister had to say that the houses that are built are disaster. They ain't getting out of this one, you know. It is corruption.
Sheldon, listen. Mr. Lacquet got information from the NLA. He brought in the information. He went home first. He went to the Prime Minister with it. Right? He brought it to him. He never give him a head back. He don't come and tell him nothing. Understand? Mm-hmm. So even though people go out and they tell the Prime Minister was still dull because they people understand the people in some of them they well support him. They spend money on him during the campaign. So even though they take money, there's nothing to him. You understand? So he don't see the corruption. That is why he's saying he don't have. I understand the Prime Minister never went in the lottery authority. He never wanted to speak to nobody. Nobody ever seen him come inside and say, talk to the people. People giving information to Lacquet. And you don't go inside, you never talk to them. What you're saying about them, there's no corruption in the Grenada lottery authority. But Sheldon, we just have to pray and let this man come out of there. They want people saying they have to go. It's time for them to go. And Sheldon, not only that, they're sinking Grenada in a deeper hole. We are going deeper and deeper in a deeper hole. The way we are on blacklist just now.
I'll go in and ask some questions. You're welcome to call back.
Well, listen up, just before you go. I want to say good night to Mr. Cookshan. The man is, we also in NP. He's an NP man together with me. Mm-hmm. He does always come and visit me. And I tell him, be strong, keep the food because you have a business too. And he said, well, no, nothing much you're making. Right? People are making much money. he can make
I've
much
been
money.
hearing that from
And-
many business people.
You know what I'm
It's a
saying? Man
sad
say he
story.
balling. I have another partner in Grenville up there and he balling. He said the goods was in the shop. Or in the supermarket. Just the. Nothing hardly going out. I know this man in the supermarket buy real goods by week. And then you can't see that now. Sheldon, have a good night, man, and continue doing what you're doing. And edify us and keep us in the light.
All right, my brother.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And folks, remember 14734. I had a message here from someone. I'm just looking for it. Oh, yes, the St. Patrick East branch of the New National Party. They are also having a breakfast sale taking place this Saturday. So both St. Patrick's having this one will be at River Sally Junction, and that starts from 7:30 a.m. So you've got breakfast. St. Patrick West will be at the bus terminus from 6 a.m. and St. Patrick East from 7:30 a.m. will be at the River Sally Junction with with the thing. Yeah. So folks, yeah, Dana, you have to check YouTube. Yeah, yeah. Facebook down. Yes. I have to message people and tell them. Yeah. So yes, folks. So yeah, but this government is hoping that we forget this, They're hoping that we leave this alone, and they want us to leave this alone. Yeah, they're hoping that we could forget this and leave it alone. No. And they're especially worried because now it has taken regional and international news that there is corruption in Grenada in the burial relief program. So they're worried about that. Yeah? And before we move to the next issue, let me take this call. Hello, good night.
Hey, Sheldon, good night.
Hey, Papi, what go?
Oh, what go, my brother? Me didn't rain up here, boy. Lot of rain up here. Lot of rain in Florida.
Don't let it wash you out, man. Don't let it wash you out.
Man, I will tell you, well anchored. Can we have a no confidential vote of this government? No confidential vote.
You could bring a no confidence vote against any government at any time. Once you even members of their own government could bring a no confidence motion against them. You remember that's why Tillman Thomas had to keep the parliament closed back in 2012. So yes, the opposition can bring it. You wouldn't win it, but you get the opportunity to talk.
Because if we have agreed from 10 to 10, I'm giving them 0 out of the 10 because there is no performance in them. Yeah. No confidence in these guys and them, man. No confidence. According to the last caller, time for them to go. Believe it or not, no confidence.
Yes, of course.
That's why the late George Brizan, when he was in the NDC, when he was alive, he had a no confidential vote and he resigned. You remember that time when he resigned? George Brizan, the late George Brizan.
I know, no, but that is in the party. That's not in the government. That's not as
in the party.
Government.
Yeah,
within the party itself. That's different in parliament. Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's all I have to say.
But anyway, yeah. All right, my friend. Thank you so very much.
All right.
Yes, indeed. And folks, I just want to announce here our community meeting by Little Jude Shop in Rosehill, St. Patrick. That's tomorrow starting at 6:30 p.m. So that's the St. Patrick. Well, I didn't even say if it's St. Patrick East or St. Patrick West because so that's St. Patrick East, right? Yes, because it's in Rosehill. So St. Patrick East, they have a meeting. Please put it on the things. Yeah, St. Patrick East, they have a meeting 6:30 p.m. tomorrow at Jude Shop in Rosehill, and I already mentioned the breakfast that is taking place there. All right, folks, I find it very interesting to hear a statement that was made by the Member of Parliament for Carriacou and Petit Martinique yesterday. And I'll play it for you for what it's worth. Yeah? I'll play it for you. It's very interesting, the following statement that you shall be hearing. No, we're not leaving the corruption thing alone. We're going back there. But I want to mention this particular one because it just proves something that we all know. Yeah? And let me just bring it up here. Nice. Excuse the video, it's not my fault. They had a bad video feed.
2. The government has not, did not, and is not prepared to stop the support to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. The support will continue as long as we continue our rebuilding process. And
that's not what 2 other ministers that sit in the same cabinet with you are saying. both the Minister of Housing, and she was very, 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 she explained a lot. For some reason, my words are not coming together. Yeah, maybe it's the not eating for a day. Yeah, the Minister of Housing was very clear that that support program is over. So let's hear.
The government has not, did not, and is not prepared to stop the support to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. The support will continue as long as we continue our rebuilding process. And we recognize and understand that rebuilding is a process and it takes time. We are in the final but most difficult stage in the recovery effort, which is the rebuilding one.
Okay, yeah, the rebuilding one. So again, let's hear him there again.
The government has not, did not, and is not prepared to stop the support to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. The support will continue as long as we continue our rebuilding process. And we recognize and understand that rebuilding is a process and it takes time. We are in the final but most difficult stage in the recovery effort, which is the rebuilding one.
Okay, the rebuilding one. All right, nice, okay. But Mr. Minister, while you're saying that, other people saying other things, you know, because we have, again, going back to the 1st of June, we have Sister Glo saying...
the housing.
Yeah.
Housing is a big one.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
That's
and
always been.
we've been responding to burial since the disaster. A lot of work in Carriacou was done, and in the north, the other parishes were slightly affected, but they were affected, and we're hoping to conclude the burial response by end of July. End of
Sister Glo, say it again, just in case Tevin didn't hear. Ishmael, yes, just in case Ishmael didn't hear.
Conclude the burial response by end of July. End of July, because
Pinky! Pinky! Mr. Pinky! Mr. Pinky, you have to listen carefully, not we saying. This is your minister on your NDC official program. The NDC heartbeat on the 1st of June. This is what she been saying.
Conclude the burial response by end of July. End of July, because you must have a window where you operate for response,
right,
and then you move on. You can be responding to...
But that is not what the minister is saying last night in Hillsborough. That is not what he's saying in Petit Martinique during the day yesterday. When he was in Hillsborough yesterday, that is not what the minister was saying. We just played it for you. He said that dying true. So he's saying, Sister Glo, you find the ministers always saying you're lying. You ever watch? Sister Glo, I feel you're NNP at heart. You know? I feel, Sister Glo maybe you're NNP at heart. I have a feeling it's not she that line. I have a feeling the rest of them line and they do like Sister Glo. Especially with number 10 inside there right now. They don't like Sister Glo because Sister Glo does be talking the truth and then them always come in to try and make it look like Sister Glo lying.
Must have a window where you operate for response,
right,
and then you move on. You can be responding to a disaster for forever.
Well, of course.
Yes,
not.
and what we recognize is that we need to go back to the regular housing program because a lot of people are on the waiting list and they are waiting. We had to set that program aside a bit to focus on the burial response.
Right.
Yes. So although some persons receive housing whilst we were doing the response, we were mainly focusing on burial response. So we want to conclude the burial response by the end of July.
Oh, you want to conclude it by when? You say it again, and you didn't say it once, so let me hear it again.
Mainly focusing on burial response. So we want to conclude the burial response by the end of July,
right,
so we could continue with the regular housing program. And we've been doing quite a lot.
Okay, so you want to conclude. Oh, okay, all right. So, but that is not what the minister said. The minister telling the people up in Carriacou a different something. He telling them that government is not and will not That's what he
from the
said.
Minister of Housing, that's Gloria Thomas, that's Honorable Gloria Thomas, that the Burial Relief Fund will come to a close. That's at the end of July. That's someone heard her mention that. I'm just asking, what will happen to many folks who still are living in tents, especially in Carriacou and Petit Martinique? How will they be catered for if that program comes to an end at the end of July?
Okay, so let me say that the minister's statement is quite correct.
Yeah.
And that
The minister's statement is quite correct. You sure you want to say that? No, I ain't feel you sure you want to say that. Let me go from the beginning again, because Tevin go deal with two all here. When Mr. Pinky hold on to you in cabinet, you and Sister Glow, all you go here.
Thomas, that the Burial Relief Fund will come to a close. That's at the end of July. That's someone heard her mention that. I'm just asking, what will happen to many folks who still are living in tents, especially in Carriacou and Petit Martinique? How will they be catered for if that program comes to an end at the end of July?
Okay, so let me say that the minister's statement is quite correct.
Yeah.
And
so the minister's statement is quite correct. I mean, speaking about the statement that the program ends at the end of July. Okay.
July.
Okay, so let me say that the minister's statement is quite correct.
Yeah.
And that we have received, as we said before, 118 million EC dollars thereabout. There are lots of persons who are still saying that, where the money gone? Let me tell you where the money gone. We have basically to date paid out in incentive to farmers and fisher folks, 34 million plus.
Yes.
There are one or two persons out there who claim that they did not receive monies from that program.
But they can't claim using Minister of Finance, so you will know if they got or they didn't get. You're telling me that people getting paid by the government of Grenada and you as the Minister of Finance can't find out if they get paid or not get paid? Come on, man. I know even government service and I could find out if they get paid or they didn't get paid. And you can't find out? Come on, Mr. Minister. Don't use the word claimed. Yeah, there are people out there who ain't getting money. They never get it. And you know that as a fact. I don't know why let us try to twist language, so.
We still have to continue looking at those who still say they have not received and so on.
Not still say they ain't get. They ain't get. It's either they get or they ain't get.
At $34 million already, it's gone out of that 118.
Yes.
There was a $25 million we put at the Grenada Development Bank to assist persons who have had their business destroyed and so on. They can go and get grant loan at 1% interest rate in there. We have pumped a lot of money into the housing, both in Grenada and Carriacou and so on. Yeah. I think in St. Patrick alone, there was some 15 million. Carriacou might have received another similar amount. So when you look at the monies that I'm telling you about, it adds up. It adds up. And in fact, I could tell you we spend more than the CRIF monies to date on reconstructing Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
Yeah.
So there is.
All right. So yeah. So the bottom line is somebody line. So it's either two ministers versus one. Which one? Vote now. Which minister do you think is lying? Yeah, because somebody lying. Because one minister telling us that the thing is not going to be stopped, it's not stopping, that kind of thing. Let me hear him again.
2. The government has not, did not, and is not prepared to stop the support to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. The support will continue as long as we continue our rebuilding process.
That is not what Sister Glow saying.
To the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. The support will continue as long as we continue our rebuilding process. And we
so is he saying that it will continue as long? So the rebuilding right now, it will continue as long. So people could get materials in Carriacou right now?
Understand that rebuilding is a process and it takes time.
Mm-hmm. All right, okay. Rebuilding is a process and it takes time. All right. Sister Glow ain't thinking so. Sister Glow say it have a time frame for it. You can't do it forever and that kind of thing. But are you all still doing the program where people could go and they could get materials and that kind of thing? That's what we want to know. If that program continues or if it is on hold, because we know earlier in the year,
the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs has announced that the...
And folks, this is from the 19th of February this year, when they placed the housing program in Carriacou on hold. So let's hear what they had to say then.
assistance program for residents on the islands is on hold until further notice. This was confirmed by the ministry's public relations officer, Deanna Isaac. Speaking to GBN, Isaac explained that the pause is necessary to facilitate a review of the project.
The government's material assistance is on hold. We are reviewing the program, so persons be mindful of that. It's not that the government is stopping the assistance to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, but with everything that you do, you must have a review. So we are reviewing the program, and in short order, persons will know after the reading of the budget, the 2025 budget, what is the next step in terms of government's assistance with the material assistance.
Over the past 7 months of recovery efforts, Isaac noted that the government distributed millions of dollars worth of building materials. She also highlighted ongoing housing initiatives aimed at ensuring that residents receive assistance in securing proper shelter.
Over the last 7 months, we have given out over $30 million in material assistance, targeting mainly the persons who got damages in terms of level 1 and level 2. As you know, Hands That Serve came in. They gave us 27 prefabricated houses, and we now have Happy Homes on the ground in Carriacou, a collaboration between Happy Homes and the government of Grenada. They're presently doing the foundation for housing at Dumfries, 20 new prefabricated houses. The people will be informed about the criteria very shortly.
Additionally, 3 of the 35 houses under the Build Back Better project were handed over to families over the weekend.
The Build Back Better homes, I am happy to report that out of the 35 homes that we have under construction, 3 of those homes last weekend were delivered to the recipients. We had a lovely ceremony, and they were very, very happy. So the Build Back Better homes are continuing. We have now started in Petit Martinique. I'm happy to say we have 3 houses under construction in Petit Martinique under project Build Back Better.
So the houses in Petit Martinique, this is in February, folks, after independence, before budget is read. And here we have Miss Isaac saying that they have these 3 houses being built in Petit Martinique. Today, the 2nd day of July 2025, none of those houses have been completed in Petit Martinique. None. Yeah? So you have February, March, April, May, June. We now enter the 5th month, July, and who knows if it was being built for a month or 2 before that. It taken so long to build one of these Build Back Better houses. I thought it was supposed to be built in 2 weeks. Anyhow, let me finish here what she's saying, eh?
Continues to do what it has in Petit Martinique. Homes are continuing. We have now started in Petit Martinique. I'm happy to say we have 3 houses under construction in Petit Martinique under project Build Back Better. So the government continues to do what it has to do to help Carriacou and Petit Martinique rebound after such a devastating hurricane.
Yeah, so Oli had stopped the Build Back Better program there, the material assistance program, and under Beryl. And then you all started it back. And now, ladies and gentlemen, they have stopped the program again. They have once more stopped the material assistance program in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Let's hear the permanent secretary with responsibility for Carriacou and Petit Martinique affairs. Sweets! Oh, go, Papa.
Take some of the responsibility as citizens, and you have to be wise in your dealings. Don't allow people to scare you and con you into doing sort of thing. The ministry presently is doing what it needs to do to give the necessary support. Presently, we have a pause in the material assistance because there is some analysis to be done. One of the pastors...
So they pause it in February, and they pause it in July. Well, who knows if it's July or June, or they pause it in already, and only just saying no, because nobody has been able to get material for a good look a while in it. Yeah, so Sweets, boy, don't go and take no lash for no man, boy. Let Tevin go and say eating for himself. Sweets, don't take no lash for no man. Go and let the man say eating for himself. All right, Papa.
To give the necessary support. Presently, we have a pause in the material assistance because there is some analysis to be done. One of the pastors mentioned selling of material and all this. And it's really sad that people will try to use a disaster as an opportunity to rip off when there are other people who need it desperately and they cannot get it. It's a sad thing. So we had to pause. We had to do a deep dive to make sure that we are doing this thing correctly. There are other people too who can afford, but yet they come forward for the assistance, and there are people who need it and cannot.
So I realize that he's confirming everything we've been saying for the last few months. The PS in Carriacou is confirming everything that we've been saying for the last few months. It's a friend and favor thing. All right.
So we need to really examine ourselves as well. We give thanks today, recognizing what we went through and how far we have come. But we really need to examine ourselves deeply and to be honest with the system. As the pastor said, every time we try to blame the system and we never really blame ourselves. And we are the ones who are dishonest with the system. So I'm just asking people to, try and be honest. I'm a friendly guy. Most of you really take some of the responsibility as citizens, and you have to be wise in your dealings. Don't allow
So it started back, but I think it's important to hear it twice.
People to scare you and con you into the sort of thing. The ministry presently is doing what it needs to do to give the necessary support. Presently, we have a pause in the material assistance because there is some analysis to be done. One of the pastors mentioned selling of material and all this. And it's really sad that people will try to use a disaster as an opportunity to rip off when there are other people.
Oh, so you're saying that there are criminal acts taking place up there. Okay, you say rip off. Rip off is the thief, So, yeah, it's just another word for thief, another phrase for thief. But anyhow.
Desperately and they cannot get it. It's a sad thing. So we had to pause. We had to do a deep dive to make sure that we are doing this thing correctly. There are other people too who.
So, folks, what the PS in Carriacou, Mr. I saw no him as Sweets. I forget his surname. I saw no him as Sweets from since he days in customs. I know him as Sweets. That I could never remember his surname. No a person by the nickname, and it was said earlier in the thing anyway. But there's something interesting that he said as well, and I want everyone listening to this program to take note of what he's saying, and especially those of you in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, to take note of what he's saying here last night.
One last thing before I leave. Carriacou has I don't know how you call it, but people think that if you speak up or you talk, you bring in news. Now, if you see something wrong going on, and you don't talk, and you don't say anything, you're actually robbing your neighbor, your friend, and the rest of the community. So you have to learn to speak up. You have to, and if you need help, my God, I couldn't understand that one at all. In Grenada, when people want help, they go in all on the radio station and TV station and say they want help. People, they want help and they're just sitting there because they want people to know their business. What? That is something? You want people to know your business and you're dying in a corner? So, shame paid brick.
That's Sweets being Sweets, saying it as he believe. Yeah? All you sit down there, all you don't say nothing. All you calling Camille Teresa Scott, who have nice chocolate for sale. Go down and buy some chocolate and thing by Camille. Yes. All you calling Camille. Oh, I'm going through this in Carriacou, I'm going through that in Petit Martinique. You're calling me and one or two other people, and all you're afraid to talk out, the PS telling all you talk. The PS telling all your talk, yes, I understand the victimization. And I think he may have to understand the level of victimization that's taking place around him is what is keeping a lot of people from wanting to speak out for fear of the treatment that they would receive on the part of the government there. So they're afraid to speak out. But what he's saying there is very profound, because he is confirming again what we have been saying, that there are a lot of people that are going through some real hard times in Carriacou, but they ain't talking. They ain't talking, they're afraid, because they know if they talk out, they call a radio program, they call a television program, and they talk out, or they call talking points or whatever, and they talk out, that they won't get to face it. But even more important there is the first part where he was speaking about them putting again another pause on the housing program. So you put a pause on the housing program in February. You said you had to do some assessment and different things of it to see where you are, to see if you're going the right direction, right? You did that assessment. You start back giving out materials after budget, which is March. So let's say April, you start giving out material again. April, May, June, you shut down the program again. You had to do review again because all kind of simmy-dimmy and hanky-panky taking place in the program. And then you want to tell me that there's no corruption taking place? All kind of hanky-panky taking place in the material program in Carriacou. Notice he didn't say because the hardwares didn't have. He didn't say that. He didn't say because the hardwares are not paid, which we know they are not paid, but he didn't say because the hardwares are not paid. He used clear examples, and he said these are things taking place, and that is why we have to do what we did. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon. Sheldon,
okay, I mean, we
don't
want to put in trouble. Why they call?
Good night to all the Grenadians. Sheldon, I'm sorry about that boy. My phone freezing, you know how long I tried?
Oh,
he does just block out. For the past few days, he's blocking out. And well, you know how long I juking. Since your program started, you know.
It probably going.
Hey?
Yeah. Somebody coming down for the carnival, bring a phone down. Somebody coming to the carnival, bring a phone.
I went and check it today. Listen to me. I went and check it. I go and the man tell me the screen going.
Yeah, once that happens, the screen, yeah.
The screen going. So if all you don't hear me, he gone bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because only a joking, he coming on. Certain time he come on and then he just block out again.
Oh boy.
Anyhow, what you do? That's life. Anyhow, good night to everybody. I don't want the blackout writer speaking. Good night to every Grenadian that is listening to me. And good night to Patty and Matthew and Miss Yolande Ben Horsford, Dr. Mitchell, good night, Miss Clarice Stratton, Miss the opposition leader, Miss Pierre, and Miss Maguire in America. Everybody, and to my son, everybody, good night. A day, I'm fighting up.
All right, but yeah.
This is the life. This is the life right now. Sheldon, they have to speak out because everybody, they're marching up. They're marching up. People speaking. I tell you all today. Because I had a few breadfruit. Big breadfruit, they're bigger than your head. Thank God I have me breadfruit tree. I'm telling you. Thank God I have me little breadfruit tree. And before I turn it on what I had, I give away to people because you can't sell everything. When you have a little garden, you have to give away too. You understand? But you have people in Grenada, and I'm appealing to them, stop harassing me. Stop coming and tell me, oh, you hear me last night and this and that. Stop.
They better quickly stop.
I'm making a report to the police. Yes, they have to stop harassing me. They stop it. I don't trouble now. You are speaking for my rights. You're telling me all the thing about rotting my foot and all thing. All kind of thing. That don't bother me. It don't bother me. I don't bother what people say about me. I know my God and I know myself more than any one of them. But they just stop. I tell you, they're marching up. A man tell me today, I ain't this man, he come in me age, cause he always used to give me talk. He said, girl, oh God, we mash it up, you know. Say, do you hear what's going on? You understand? So people speaking about some afraid to speak to the media. But the people speaking against they waiting for boss. They are the bosses. You go to the supermarket, they complaining about what? But I don't go in supermarket. I eat me local food. You understand? But it's really sad. It is sad for a lot of us in this country. You have people who have a little money and they could shove their backyard and money fly out. But it's sad for the poor class people in this country, and it's the gospel truth. And a lot of families sending a little barrel for the family with food stuff. Just know they won't get that. Because a lot of them can't go to work because of what Mr. Trump are going on in America. So it's really sad. And I will always say thanks to Mr. Mitchell, Dr. Mitchell. I have my little blog on pig. I have my breadfruit tree. I could get one and I could give a neighbor one. You understand? And we have to pray for our country. Pray. And all this don't afraid to talk one thing bothering y'all. If I lose in trouble, I lose in trouble. Yes. But people speaking out, it's sad. It's just sad. We just have to continue praying for our country and pray for those that giving us some information. People as you, Sheldon, like Jenny, good night, Auntie Jenny, and others.
Tomorrow,
Them
Jenny's
people
on,
just shame.
Jenny's on tomorrow, so Jenny is on with her program
Sheldon,
tomorrow.
the ministers, shame. They just shame. Mr. Cornwall, shame. The Prime Minister, shame of what's going on. You understand? It's sad. I'm sorry for them. I mean, come on, somebody else be sorry for them. Because when you're listening to the different clips, you're listening to Mr. Cornwall and GBN, you're listening to him in a meeting. You listen to Miss Gloria, what the one in Carriacou. Everybody have a different story. Well, who they fooling? Who they fooling? They just shame. But God will deal with them, not man. God, the Almighty, the true and living God will deal with them. Because in the beginning, Mr. Scott, they say Dr. Mitchell, the NNP government didn't do nothing for Grenada, and that was a curse. That was a curse. Give the people what they do. Give them the honor for what they do. And then you could have say what you have to say. You should thank them. Because the amount of work that Dr. Mitchell and his team work in this country, and if Grenadians said they didn't do nothing, they cause their own self. That's why some of them suffering today. And I don't sorry for some of them. Where they had more road, they have wall. Yeah? The amount of galvanized some get and gravels is still there on the ground in the yard. Say the good things, what they did. Yes, they make mistakes. Yes, things didn't go right for some people. But say of the good works, what they did. I did too bad mind. So we had to feel it. You understand? But it's really sad. And y'all get all your children ready to start to vote when the time is right. Because a little Grenada, you have the movement, you have Lacret, you have NNP, you have NDC, and you have another one. Other man, he says he's a pastor. So it's a lot. So I don't know how they will make it in this country. That little Grenada. Have a good night, Grenadians. I don't bright like some of them, but I could still hear my voice. Good night to everybody. I love everybody. Yeah.
Good night, Carrie.
Right. But Sheldon, me and you go tie up, we go tie up bad.
Okay, I'll call you.
I need to think for me head. I don't have to read and spell for you.
It ordered already. Yeah. It just ain't arrived.
Good night, son, and you take care. Okay. And be very careful when you eat. I hear you talking about food poisoning.
Yeah, I get a bad
They
case
would
of
like
it.
to kill me and kill you, straight up.
I get a real bad.
If they give us something like what they give Ralph, we don't come into the hospital,
This,
Be careful.
that one is the
Be
worst I ever
careful
get.
what you eat and what you drink. Be very careful. All right.
All right, but
Good night to everyone. Mr. Watts. Mr. Watts, good night. I love y'all.
All right, but
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
In this case, though, just as an aside, the food poisoning, I think it was off of some of the vegetables and so I was preparing because I actually cooked for myself. And so I think it's some of the vegetables. Sometimes with vegetables and so you may have like salmonella, those kind of things. And I think it's probably that happened. That's the worst I ever had it. I came onto the program last night under duress, but I'm getting there. Yes, indeed. 14734407377. That is the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. And indeed, folks, just a reminder, the St. Patrick East and St. Patrick West, both of them have breakfast taking place this Saturday. So St. Patrick East, they've got theirs over in River Sally Junction starting from 7:30, and River Sally and St. Patrick West. St. Patrick West, they've got theirs down at the bus terminal starting from 6 a.m. All right, and then remember the New National Party, they've got their monthly activity that is going to be taking place at the party headquarters on the 4th of July. So that's taking place this Friday. All right. So I missed a call. Call back 14734407377. Those are the numbers for you to get onto the inside. Remember, Simon says tomorrow. What confusion, Jenny, where we going and cause again? Jenny going to cause some kind of confusion again. But it's very interesting, because you've heard now from the minister with responsibility for Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs, and he is saying that the program is not stopping. There's been no decision to stop the program or conclude the program, that they will continue providing support to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. You've heard both the Minister of Finance and you've heard the Minister of Housing Social Services confirming that the program is coming to an end. So there is a situation that the program is coming to an end. Caller, proceed, go right ahead.
Hello?
Caller, you're live, go right ahead. Wow.
Yeah, shall I good night?
Them crickets burning we ears, boy.
The other one. Yeah, Sheldon, that must have happened in this year. Because what you find happening, when you have a government head with the head of cabinet open doors for corruption to take place, people that come in and working with the government, they will do the same thing. Because whenever corruption is found out and they try to deal with the corruption and report the matter to the chief cornerstone of the cabinet, what he do? He get rid of the person reporting the wrong thing that take place in different ministry, and if he will get rid of the person who tried to report that to he, and tell him to try and do something, Mr. Prime Minister, because the corruption that taking place. Why he doing? He getting rid and giving his blessing to the corruption that taking place. So why see happening with them contractors? That is what the contractors see go on in a different minister corrupt. So the contractor say, if the minister could play mass, I play mass too. Right?
Caller, before you go further, let me tell you something. I'll bet you right now. I ain't cash, I can't bet money. I don't have that. But I'll bet you right now that election will come and not a single audit will be done of that housing program, that burial relief housing program.
Shall I nothing do it? I agree. I support you on it for it. Nothing do it.
Know if they audit it, that they are going to be dealing with some of the senior member people in cabinet going to go down. They're not auditing anything because the contractors.
They're doing nothing.
The contractors go talk out to defend themselves, and certain ministers will go down. No auditing taking place.
Yeah, because the same like what happened in Lato. The Prime Minister will investigate nothing. Nothing. They just saying something, but you're doing nothing. Nothing. So when you don't do nothing with the wrong things that are going on in different ministry, what happened? It will continue. It will be spreading more. But if you have things going on around in a home, children, and you know about it, and you don't stamp, you put the wrong foot on it, what will happen? It will be getting wider and wider. So every government corrupt, every minister corrupt, who come in, they will be the same thing because they see that's the way to go. Honesty is against this government. What is the government see is to be corrupt, and once you corrupt, you could be aligned to them because that's what the prime minister is saying. That's why he giving the blessing to. And brother Sheldon, I listened to the clip with Gloria Thomas and Cornwall, and I hear Tevin saying something. I ask myself, how many cabinet are there in NDC? Because he Tevin saying that the program will continue. Gloria Thomas saying that it will be end in July. Cornwall saying it will be end in July. So two of them, two say the same thing, but one saying something different. Right? I'm very sure what I say again is like some of them ministers they get harassed, and the least and most corrupt person within the government. This is one that the prime minister see is as a right hand man. And I do believe that the minister are getting harassed with Andy because among the corruption that is taking place, even they go to talk and report it to the prime minister, they might lose their job. And it come back to the law too, Sheldon, it's a disgrace. For when you consider yourself a Christian person and corruption is taking place, you don't investigate it. You see why? Number 10 will not investigate. She see what happened with Lacret and she don't want to go on that road. So she prefer to, if she have any semblance of integrity, she prefer to lose it and for the love of money. Brother Sheldon, have a blessed night.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother. Yes, indeed, folks. We're into the final 5 minutes of tonight's program. And folks, you know, in attempting to defend themselves, this government is forgetting the main thing. The main thing here is the people. The people who are suffering on a daily basis, the mothers who are sleeping, the mothers who are sleeping tonight in tents, or hoping that rain doesn't fall, so they don't have to be putting the pan and the bucket and the basin all over to capture the water. These people are who the focus should be on, not in defending yourself and throwing the contractors under the bus. No audit going and take place. Take what I'm telling all you. No auditing taking place. Because they know they will not be able to release the results of the audit because it's going to have some serious effect on them politically and otherwise. So they are not going to audit any program. Just remember, I tell all you that. We have a caller online. Hello?
Fadu, brother, I know you're in the middle of thing. I didn't want to cut you off, but something I need to be said still,
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. We have 4 minutes, so go right ahead.
All right, still less. All right, so people listen. What would you call it if a building is being worked on, right?
Mm-hmm.
The electricians have been working on the building for the last couple, and the plans for the building just came.
That is madness.
I concur.
That is madness. So how you know where to put your ports? How you know where to put your ports and to run your cables and everything?
You use
where your junction box should go.
You use a very spirited word earlier on, incompetence.
Yeah.
Lazy incompetent. I swear, like they just doing a lot too much from. They're doing more than is needed.
Mm-hmm.
It's as I say, it's almost blatant in your face. It's like they do something after they've been told not to do it, then they reverse that and then come tell the people, well, hey, what's up? Yeah, some mistake was made, but the mistake is not on us. No, we that did it. It's the other people. Like, they're not the ones signing the check. They're not the ones that's saying, okay, well, here what? The people say don't do that, but we will change it because we know have the vision. We know what's up. These people never... Well, listen, my mom used to tell me, only someone that knows pain could cry.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear I don't believe these people ever cried.
You
get me?
You know the
'Cause-
story you're going to start to hear from them just now, Fadu? You're going to start to hear them saying, is NNP people in the system that making mistakes and doing these things. That's
Well,
the,
they turn
that's
on
the
each
final
other,
one,
so I
that's the
agree.
final one to go reach on to.
Well, they turning on each other, you understand? And still the supporters of these individuals still making excuses. And I'm asking you all, in which facet in this new world that we live in, with all your female empowerment and acceptance of whatever, but which facet in our society is dysfunction and, as you said, no accountability, the fact that it's just everything is disorganized? Where is that celebrated? In which facet? Like, make it make sense to me. How is it that the hard questions are not being asked? How is it that the not need to know basis, how is that is not questioned? Like, where is it that you're rubbing shoulders with a pseudo meds of like accomplishment or something? Is it that? Is all y'all think like y'all doing something more extraordinary? So it's like it's almost like a slave and the like a outside slave and an inside slave. We both slaves, bruv. I don't get it, fam, because as I said, there are people that if they ask questions, they get direct answers. They don't have to wait, no pause on it. You see, man? So why the questions being asked? It's like, why we have to be saying this for months before other people start to pay attention to like it's in international news now. So it's like, okay, they have to come and defend that. Why is the and funny enough, I find I tell with him when he's lying. Pay attention to his eyes.
No,
he does a thing when he's lying, so he has to frown. You have to keep frowning.
He does close his eyes too.
Right.
He
So he has to tell when he's lying.
And he does try to grip the chair. When something is uncomfortable,
yes, I saw
his
it
fingers begin to grip the chair. Yeah.
To keep from gesticulation in it.
The handles of the chair, when a question that's uncomfortable for him, he starts gripping the chair, and his eyes
he frowns to
close.
keep his eyes open so he doesn't twitch. Yes.
Yeah, so he closes his eye in between while the question is being asked, and then he kind of start to give a kind of sly smile.
If he's of a plumage amalgamate. If he's of a particular plumage amalgamate. Yes, fam. So let me see. Let me don't take up all the time because I see you're not done already 10 already. So I guess maybe I'll call in tomorrow.
Yeah,
but
no problem.
I put it out there to the individuals that really care about a good existence from Grenada. I ain't talking about the people that thinking about the short game that get a little small change and figure, okay, well, I could take out a girl or I could have some access to some females or whatever you're like. Making it, you know what I mean? I don't think that justifies the action. I don't think people that's not really informed to make decisions and putting them in positions where they have to make life-changing decisions is really accurate. You understand? So I really ask y'all to think, what exactly all you want for Grenada? All you want a pseudo presence of technology and advancement, or you want some real substance in the people? Make up all your minds because it's crazy right now, and yeah, it hurts in my head. Fadu, I'll call in tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah, Fadu, bless up, respect.
Still is.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, we've actually got ending time, but there are two things I want to say. One, what they're afraid of is the fact that now, all over the world, NDC and corruption are showing up in timelines. The words National Democratic Congress, Deacon Mitchell, is showing up next to the words corruption. And they ain't liking that at all. If you check, that is what happening. They ain't liking that at all. Also, because me afraid these pages and them, there are certain Facebook pages out there. Some of you listening to this program often go on those pages because when something happens, people sending the information to those pages and not realizing that those pages are being used to destroy you. So many of you run into those Facebook pages every time something happens in an area. Imagine, I was sitting in a bank and an individual who thinks that I don't know who they are came in there. They were joking their phone, take a picture of me and send to that page, and the page puts up that picture. Look, he sit down in the bank. That kind of thing. Yeah? Like if I don't have a right to go and sit down in a bank. No, I'm seeing it being used to attack people. In fact, to attack our own nurse, Wendy Maguire. That those pages are being used to destroy her. Wendy Maguire, the same one who comes with the Grenada Nurses Association and brings down supplies for health centers and the general hospital, whether it's from Petit Martinique right down, they bring medical supplies as part of the Grenada Nurses Association. So it is unquestioned that she has done and continues to do for the state of Grenada. She comes down with medical missions to provide life-saving and life-changing medical services to Grenadians. Every year or so, she does that. We made a call to her and we said, look, we need this and we have it right now, Princess Alice. But we don't use it at all. We got the medical supplies down to them. And then you have people who remain nameless, who remain faceless, who are coward. So they ain't coming out and say this is them and that is that and this the other. They coward. They stay behind these fake pages and you NNP people taking information and send to them. How crazy can you be? As soon as something happens, oh, I had to send that for so and so. And all you're gone and all you're taking it and send it in the inbox. Stupidness, dotishness, because you all are building a monster that will come back and eat all you, and it happened several times already. Because some of these same people that used to take their mobile phone and go and send information to that page, and those types of pages, is the same pages that come back and post them up and embarrass them. It's the same pages that come back and shame them. When you all see the posts attacking people like Wendy Maguire, for you all to go on the page and report it as bullying. Report it. That's what you have to do. You have to go on these pages and report these things. Because all you've done on the page already. So go there and report these things for what they are. The pages are being used to bully people. They outright state there's NDC. They say it clear, the supporters of the NDC. And you NNP people taking information and helping to build those pages. You seen government sending things and tagging them page to try and bamboozle the minor Grenadian people. Any all you send anything from that page to me again, I go embarrass all you. Telling all you straight up. Because I don't want all you. And all you know which page I'm talking about. I go embarrass all you. There are other sources and news. I'll go on Mikey and give me news. But I ain't going there. Because these people are being used disgustingly so because they feel they hide behind that they are anonymous. So it empowers them to say anything about anybody and do anything about anybody because Mike Tyson say, internet these days get people feel too thing with insulting people because somebody can punch them in the face. And I'm not saying here to be violent. But I'm saying that these people feel empowered because they feel people don't know who they are. Because they feel some people don't have contacts in Facebook and could trace down and find out who they are. So they continue to do these things with your support. Stop it. When you see they go and they put things about Wendy and them, report it and report it as bullying. And if enough of us do that, it's bye-bye Miss American Pie. I just had to say that before I end tonight. Because I find some of you too much on it now. Some of you too much on them thing now. You're supporting the people that are being used to destroy you. Sending information to those pages and then coming and send the wrong information. What do you think you're doing? What are you really doing? Nonsense. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you in whatever you say and do. Do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and definitely not about you. My name is Sheldon Scott. I am out and we'll be back tomorrow night, God's willing, with more Talking Points for you.
Can someone help me? Please help me unfold. What in the drums that has captivated the soul? Is it a ritual that sticks to one and all? It gets you off your feet and dance to the beat. When they play a song to open the ring, the whole of the crowd just start to sing. Ibole ole, boyo, ibole ole, ibole ole, boyo, ibole ole, ibole ole, boyo, ibole ole. Now I just find myself dancing in the wind. I just can't control my emotion. Like the music driving me into convulsion. When the drummer started to play this song, I tell myself that